At this point in the course, we are going to look further into the different components of a theory of change in a workshop setting with two of the individuals from our case study organisation, Goals for the Future. At In Focus, we often create a theory of change for an organisation or one or more of its programs in a workshop setting, although, as we'll come to later in the course, this is not always necessary. In a workshop context, we use multicoloured cards and the biggest wall we can possibly find to create our theory of change. We start developing our theory of change by agreeing the situation in which the organisation or program operates. This involves defining the social problem that the organisation is seeking to address and identifying the characteristics of beneficiaries and stakeholders. The In Focus process also involves identifying the assets available to the organisation due to its situation, location, and stakeholders. Assets in this context refer to any available resource that could support the running of activities and the achievement of outcomes. One of the distinguishing features of a theory of change is that, unlike other program mapping techniques, such as logical frameworks, we start by defining the impact, the longest term change sought by the organisation for its target communities or wider society, and work backwards to define outcomes, the changes that occur for beneficiaries and in communities and society for the impact to take place. These are often called preconditions, as they relate to the conditions required for social change to occur. The subsequent outcomes pathway depicts both the changes brought about through organisations' activities, as well as the wider social changes or conditions that need to occur for the impact to take place. The penultimate step is to consider the specific activities that are directed towards bringing about specific outcomes and impact. We map these against the outcomes or outcomes pathway to identify any missing outcomes and the extent to which organisations are contributing to impact. The final part of the process is to consider key assumptions about the theory of change, which, as we described earlier in this module, are the core beliefs that underpin the theory of change and explain how and why certain activities are expected to lead to the desired results. Once this is complete, we can also create a written narrative, which is the story of the theory of change, and a theory of change light, which creates a more top-level, digestible version of the overall theory of change. We cover the step-by-step process of how to create each of the elements above in detail in Module 3 of this section of the course.